Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Becky Timms here for The Drive at 5. And today I wanted to give you a quick little checklist for if you're creating a brand new Amazon seller account. Now, I know a lot of you are watching me and you're like, my gosh, Becky, I've had an Amazon seller account for 4 years or 3 years or 2 years. And if you do, I'm super, super excited for you. But I also want to let you know that there's a lot of people that are watching me that are brand new to e-commerce altogether. And so I'm trying to cover the brand new e-commerce peeps as well as the more advanced peeps. So yesterday, we talked about Amazon sponsored ads, and that is for the more advanced sellers on Amazon. But today I'm talking to the brand new person that is super excited, like I am, about getting started on Amazon. And so I want to tell you exactly what you need when you go to sit down to sign up for your first Amazon account. The first thing you need is some business information, so like a legal business name. Now, when you come up with a name to name your store on Amazon, you want it to be somewhat professional. You don't want to call it like Granny's Attic or something like that, like you would name it on eBay. You want to have a professional name because Amazon appears to be more professional. So think of a name, you know, any name that you want. I actually, I have 2 boys, and my husband and I are, you know, Becky and Bud, and my sons start with C, so we came up with a name around our initials. Now, whatever you come up with, that's fine, as long as it's a name that you want for your company and your business. And then you also want to have, like a lot of times I hear, well, do I have to have an LLC to start an Amazon business? And you don't. You can just come up with your name and your address and who Amazon can contact, so a contact person basically. And then another thing you're going to need an email address. Now, I highly recommend that you create an address that is just for Amazon, an email address just for Amazon. And that way, when you get any communication from them, then you can take care of it right away, because this is a business, and with all businesses you want to communicate fairly quickly with everyone that is actually doing that. So if you have a personal email and then you happen to get an email from Amazon and you don't take care of it and you've got that red flag, then you could potentially cause some trouble. So that would be put a big red star by that you need an Amazon email account solely for Amazon. And I highly recommend that. The next thing you're going to need a credit card. So as soon as you sign up, especially if you sign up for the professional plan, it's $39.99. Now, you will get charged that, and you have it for 30 days. So you want to make sure that that credit card is active. Don't try to put in some fake numbers. You want to make sure it has a valid billing address and that it's active and ready for when you sign up for Amazon, because in 30 days Amazon will charge you. So you want to make sure that it's active. The last thing, well, not the last thing, but another thing you're going to need is your phone number. And Amazon is really good, and I highly recommend that you verify your account with your phone number. So that means if you're on your laptop and you sign in to Amazon Seller Central, they're going to say, hey, we're going to send you a code to your phone, enter the code. And it's called 2-step verification, and I highly recommend that you do this, because then let's say that you go to sign in on your desktop and they're going to say, wait, you're signing in from a different computer, so let me send you a code. And so you want to be sure to do that. It's going to seem like a pain, but it's going to protect you in the long run, because I think back around, don't quote me, maybe April of this year, April-May time frame of this year, you know, people were going in and getting hacked into their Amazon accounts, and people were updating bank account information and sending it to God only knows where, somebody else's bank account. And so you don't want that to happen to you. Now, granted, Amazon takes care of that and remedy the situation, but I would hate to have, you know, $50,000 every 2 weeks, or $75,000, or $150,000, or whatever the amount is, routed to some bank in Egypt or, you know, another foreign country. So just do that 2-step verification. That's another big red star. It's going to seem like a pain, but it's something that you want to do. Hey Jen, thanks for joining. The other thing you're going to need is your social security number or an EIN or a federal tax ID number. And the reason, not an EIN, I'm sorry, federal tax ID number. And the reason that you want that is so that Amazon and, well, not only Amazon, but your tax attorney and your tax accountant can get the right amount of taxes. Now, I'm not going to give you any tax advice on here. I'm going to tell you to consult with your tax attorney and or your tax accountant, because you do want to pick your state. I live in South Carolina, so I chose South Carolina, but once again, talk to your tax attorney, because there are tax nexus laws with where the physical boundaries are if you're doing Amazon FBA, if you have call centers or warehouses or all kind of things. Just talk to your accountant and tax attorney for that. Also, you need to have an address on hand of where you're sending your returns. So let's say, for example, I live in a house. So if I were to, especially for the ones that are drop shipping, if you're drop shipping a couch, and with Amazon's automatic returns now, and the customer wants to return it, you could come home to your upstairs apartment and there may be a couch upstairs. So you really want to pay attention to that. Well, one, if you're drop shipping on Amazon, I hope you have, especially if you live on the 3rd or 4th floor, that you have other means and that you're not doing that to your UPS driver or whoever's doing the returns, and or that you're selling smaller items. And you want to make sure that you have a great place that the returns can be sent to, and also who is going to deal with your customers. So like, for example, I do Amazon FBA, so Amazon handles all my customer inquiries. However, if you do merchant fulfilled or retail arbitrage, then you have to actually answer the customers, and that's another reason that you need that separate email account for that. Another thing, this one is huge. It's something I don't recommend, but Amazon's going to ask you, hey, do you want to commingle your products or not? And I always say, do not commingle. And the reason I say that, well, let me tell you what commingle means. Commingle means if I send in, I'll just say a CD. If I send in the Lion King movie, and my neighbor sends in the Lion King movie, and you send in the Lion King movie, they're all thrown in a bin, and it says Lion King movies. So then when a customer comes to purchase an item, the Lion King movie, Amazon just reaches in the bin and picks one out and mails it to the customer. Well, what happens when you do that is you don't have to individually put a sticker over the UPC code of the, you're right, Kendall, no commingle, it means co-mess, and I'm going to explain that. But it is easier that you don't have to put the sticker over it. But let's just say that you commingled those Lion King movies, and one of your customers got a movie, and they said it was counterfeit, and you're like, no way, I have the receipt, I bought it from Walmart, or I bought it from wherever you bought it from. Well, Amazon doesn't care where you bought it from. If the customer says that it's counterfeit and they just reached their hand in and pulled out the commingled, the Lion King movie, unfortunately you're out of luck, because you can't prove that that item was not a counterfeit item. And so you don't want that to happen to you, because and that may be one of the reasons that DVDs and CDs are harder to sell, because of the commingling issues. So I always recommend stickering, paying that extra 20 cents yourself, 20 cents per item, or you can do it yourself. Just print the sticker on like a Avery 5160 label where there's the 30 labels per sheet. You can do that yourself and save that 20 cents per item. But guys, it's something that I highly recommend, and it's because exactly what Kendall just said, no commingling, because it means co-mess. Because you might take really good care of your items, but someone else may just send in junk, and then you get caught in the crossfire, basically. Also, you want to make sure you have some stellar marketing content so you can build that fabulous list. You know, the good title, the good bullet points, the great description, awesome images, everything that you need to have a great item. And you also want to have a plan to start selling items right away, because as soon as you sign up for an account on Amazon, that's going to start the clock for your 30 days ticking. They're not going to give you like a grace period or something. So you need to have all of these things set out. And I mean, literally, you know, your name, your address, your email, your credit card, pretty much you have all that anyway. So it's not, you don't really need to think of anything except the name that you're going to name your store for when you go shopping or get online. And then the next thing, you want to make sure that you are ungated in the items that you want to sell. So if you want to come online and start selling groceries, that's not going to happen right away. You have to get what we call ungated in those categories. However, if you would have listened to me like 3 years ago, you would have already been ungated in beauty and grocery and everything else. But I will say, I can pretty much say for certain that it's only going to get harder and harder and harder to sell on Amazon. And so the faster that you move up and take action, you can become grandfathered in and already be a seller. I'm sure, I know like last year, Amazon did a cutoff and they're like, I'm sorry, if you haven't sold an item on Amazon by such and such a date, you're not going to be able to sell. I know they do that with toys. I woke up this morning to an email from Amazon in my Amazon email account, and guess what it said? Hooray! Well, it didn't say hooray. It just said, hey, you can still sell toys if you want to sell toys. I don't sell toys, but if you want to sell toys, I could still sell toys. That's right. Beauty isn't gated anymore, it's not gated anymore. However, there are brand restrictions now and topicals that are gated and restricted. So, and that's the part that's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher, especially if you're doing retail arbitrage. And so I really want you to pay attention to that, because I don't want you to go buy a bunch of stuff and then send it in and then they say, I'm sorry, you can't sell fingerlings anymore, or I'm sorry, you can't sell XYZ product, and then you're kind of stuck and you have to go to eBay. So that's another reason to doing private label. Yay, Kendall, you're approved. That's awesome. So it's 6:30 Eastern Standard Time right now. I am actually, so the other night, remember I'm trying to perfect my private label webinar, and the other night I thought I did an awesome job, guys. I was doing my private label webinar and I got all the way through the whole thing, and I went and looked at my attendees. They listened through the entire thing. Everyone that was on there listened through the entire thing, and guess what? I didn't even screen share. All they could see was a picture of me, all excited, telling my story, telling everything, and then they couldn't even see any of my slide presentation or my screen or anything. So I'm going to redo that tonight at 9:30 Eastern. If you want to jump on the webinar, you can go to privatelabelcourse.com and watch me. Hopefully I won't butcher it again. I'm using a brand new software. I'm going to try and record. I'm going to try and make this one perfect. Who knows? I'm enjoying doing it. I'm enjoying answering all the live questions afterwards. So if you have any questions regarding anything Amazon, it doesn't have to be private label. You can jump on the webinar, watch the webinar, and then afterwards I go on and answer live Q&A. So go to privatelabelcourse.com if you want to see that. So it's privatelabelcourse.com, and I'll be on tonight. And also, if you want to get on my newsletter, send me a message, and I'll start sending out an e-commerce newsletter for my 1-year anniversary. Now, no, I'm sorry, for my 18-year anniversary. Tomorrow is my 1-year anniversary of doing the Drive at 5 every day, Monday through Friday, for a whole year. So I'm kind of pumped about that. So let me tell y'all a funny story. Last night, well, Sunday, I was going to cook some spaghetti, and I burned the hamburger meat and the onions. So last night, so then Saturday, Big Papa, my husband Bud, he coached his football team, and they won their little Goose Creek Rec football game. But it was so hot outside. It was like I don't know, maybe 95 degrees, but with the heat index, it was like 100 degrees. It was so hot. So afterwards, our family went to have wings, and Bud had a beer called Oktoberfest. So last night I went to the grocery store because I still wanted that spaghetti, and I walked by, oh my gosh, my little neighbor came and just scared me because I'm sitting in my car with the door locked, and he just knocked on the window. Hi. Hold on a second. Hey guys, they're inside. So, oh, he just scared me. Anyway, that was my neighbors. So anyway, I was at the grocery store last night to buy the stuff for spaghetti, and my, I walked by, hey Miranda, I'm enjoying watching your lives. I walked by, the beer case, and there was some Oktoberfest, and this was the beer that, my husband drank at the wing place. So I bought him a box of beer. Now this is like a huge thing for me because one, I don't usually go grocery shopping. Two, I haven't bought beer in like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. It's not something that I buy to bring into our house because one, I never go grocery shopping, and two, I don't drink beer, and he doesn't drink that much either. But it was funny because I go up to check out and they card me, and I'm like, are you serious? So I know it's the law, so I got out my driver's license, and he scanned it and whatever, and then I left. Well, I got all the way home. I was so excited. I told the boys, or I told Bud, that I bought him some beer, and I unloaded the car, and there's no beer. So I drive all the way back to Bilo, and I get there, and the guy that was checking me out says, well, I don't remember any Oktoberfest. And I was like, well, it was the last one there. And so I could have given up, but I was persistent. I was like, okay, I know it. I paid for it. It's not in my car. It's got to be somewhere. So I went over to another, like the customer service counter, and she was like, yeah, my boss, my manager picked that up, and they put it back in the cooler. Well, we went to look, and it wasn't back in the same place. Long story short, we ended up getting the Oktoberfest. I brought it home. We ended up eating spaghetti at 9:00 p.m. last night, so it was late when we ate, but it was really good. I didn't burn it, and Bud got his Oktoberfest, and I bought alcohol for the first time in many, many, many years, and it was just great. So that's my little side rant story that I wanted to tell you all today. Hey Nancy, thanks for joining. So I hope to see you all on the private label course tonight, and I will see you tomorrow on The Drive at 5. Have a happy Tuesday. Bye.